Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Yesterday we talked about sleep a lot. And guys, yesterday I actually compromised my own sleep. I should have known better. I have this rule about caffeine, specifically about caffeine in coffee, because for example there is some caffeine in chocolate, but it's really minimal, the amount of caffeine, and it doesn't have the same effect on me. So anyhow, I drank my coffee closer to 3 p.m. That is for me actually really late because I go to bed around 9 p.m. And so I'm also a slow metabolizer of caffeine, and it didn't have enough time to get through my system, and I didn't have the best quality of sleep. And so I'm not feeling as on the top of the world as I felt yesterday. So another lesson, just stick to caffeinated coffee before noon rule. And I didn't do that, and I compromised the quality of my own sleep, and now I know better, and I'm not going to be drinking caffeinated coffee after 12 p.m. That's like my golden rule. And then I might have decaf coffee, I might have green tea, I might have a little bit of chocolate, but also not after 5 p.m. Like, this is my cut out time. And my quality of sleep gonna be so much better. From sleep to rules. I just mentioned to you guys one of my rules, and I have many actually, around my lifestyle and my food choices. And that's why it's so much easier for me to always know what's my choice. Like going out to eat, what's the order? Veggies and protein, veggies and fish, veggies and steak, veggies and grilled chicken, whatever that might be in this particular place, or veggies and seafood buffet or seafood platter. So that's my choice. For example, when going out and I'm yet to be to a restaurant or to an eating place where that would not work. It works everywhere. Like, you gonna find those kind of options in any place where you eat. So anyhow, I have a lot of personal rules around my lifestyle, and what it does, it saves me a lot of energy on decision making. When you pre-made those decisions in advance, you will not spend any time on making those decisions at the moment, and it will not just save you time, but it will also save you that mental energy that is required every time you make a choice. And it's proven by neuroscientists that you can only make so many good decisions in your day until you reach that state of decision fatigue. And again, it's proven that you spend energy every time you make a decision. And if every time you eat, you are making a decision, then you're just wasting a lot of your own energy and a lot of your own focus and decision-making energy that you could have spent somewhere else. And some people say, well, then I'll eat whatever. If you eat whatever in our food environment, where whatever is available 24/7, and that whatever is not the best choice for you or your health, then you're going to end up fat, sick, weak, with a really poor self-image or really poor health. And that's why you need to make personal rules about your lifestyle that you're not going to compromise, about your food choices that you're not going to compromise. And those rules, the best rules, are the ones that you know work for you, that you actually enjoy. And at the end of the day, you know that self-limitations in those areas will bring you so much more happiness and joy and fulfillment than any cookie could ever dream to bring you. So today we are talking about my personal rules, and you'll look a little bit deeper into my psychology, into my lifestyle, and how I managed to maintain my lean physique and amazing health, almost never getting sick, no matter where in the world I am. Like, a couple of weeks ago I was in Helsinki, now I'm in Bologna. Soon I'm going to be traveling through a couple of other cities, and then Switzerland, and then God knows where, right? But when you're in good health and in good shape, you can make it work no matter where you are. You can really rely on your health. So, Angela's rules. Let's talk about sleep. 8 hours of sleep is non-negotiable for me. And usually I do my best, and doing my best meaning no more than 2 times per month, I allow myself to break this rule for one reason or the other. Maybe traveling, or maybe a special social occasion. 2 times a month. That's it. That's the rule I have. No more, less is possible, but no more. And 8 hours of sleep every night. So for me, it's usually from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. And usually half an hour here and there for getting to bed and getting out of bed. So somewhere around 8.5 hours I spend in bed each time. So 8 hours of sleep, non-negotiable. I allow myself 2 times a month, 2 days a month to break this rule. But then, the next day I always suffer in some way. And it compromises your immune system. I don't want to get sick, and there are more than plenty opportunities for our body to get sick. And that's why I'm also that crazy about sleep. Like, I want to be my best, and I don't want to get sick. And I made this connection in my mind a long time ago between my sleep time and my performance and my immunity, and how I look, how I feel, how much joy I experience. So I sleep 8 hours, and that's non-breakable rule, no matter how important the occasion might seem, or how important whatever. My health is more important in any case. That's how much I love you. I love myself. Anyhow, so sleeping on the same schedule, also 2 times a month. That how often I allow myself to deviate from that time. Exercise daily is another rule of mine. 30 minutes is considered to be a minimum. And if I don't exercise for some reason, we all have limited amount of time. So I do 2 hours of walking. So for example, if I'm on a tour, if I'm outside, if I'm training other people, and I do that for 2 hours, that also can be a form of exercise for me. But don't no less than that. And also, I don't ever tell myself that I gotta go to the gym or I gotta do this or that. 30 minutes of any exercise. The next one, daily meditation and journaling. Now, if I'm super busy or something else, I might cut it short, like 5 minutes of meditation and half a page in my journal of journaling. And that's all I do, but I keep the routine no matter where I am, no matter what time it is, no matter how much time I have or I don't have, non-negotiable. Because I know that for my mental and physical well-being, that what I need to do. Like, you might have other rules, but I don't know, it seems to work for a lot of high performers, and it definitely is working for me. Now let's get to food, right? My personal rules around food, and a lot of them based on, the studies, cutting edge science, on trials and errors and trying something else. So it's kind of like a combination of what I'm learning through articles or courses or from other people or from my personal experience. And then I'm trying, different things, and some things stays, some things change, some things never work for me. And that's kind of how I come up with all of these rules that work for me. So food, first of all, fasting, no food. Every day I eat food from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's what works for me, for my sleep, for my lifestyle, to maintain my work performance and my physical performance, and to just physically feel and look the way I want to feel and look. So I eat from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. and usually it's only 1 or 2 meals. It's not like I'm snacking all the time. I don't think that's a good idea for anyone. So 1 or 2 meals usually depends on how much training I do and how active I am during the day. Special occasions, for example, a late night dinner, right? Like there is a dinner that I want to go, and that maybe sharing dinner with family or special occasion with my friends, whatever that is. If I know that I'm going to have late dinner, I'm going to move my eating time to later, and the next day I'm still gonna have 18 hours of fasting. That's my also rule, and I'm probably gonna have just one meal that day. So for example, if I finish my dinner on that special occasion by 9 p.m., then I'm not gonna be eating till 3 p.m. the next day, and I'm gonna have one meal and call it a day. So that's another rule that I have. And if it's more prolonged special occasion, like maybe the whole day of tasting food, like tomorrow I'm going to Parma, that is a city in Italy where they make Parmesan cheese and that famous ham, something else. So like the whole day basically is going to be 7.5 hours is trying things. And so I'm not going to limit myself to a specific time because it's not my schedule. But what I'm going to do is the day after, I'm going to delay my breakfast, because I never really have breakfast in the morning, but so I'm going to delay my eating time and I'm going to have again just one meal. That's what I do. That works for me to maintain the health, the lifestyle, the shape, physical shape, and the amount of leanness or body fat that I carry. So if it's a longer getaway, like a week of romantic getaway, and my eating habits become more relaxed and disordered, there is like no order, you might have a piece of chocolate here or a piece of fruit there, then I make sure that this getaway has a start date and a finish date, and I'm gonna honor those days that I set up myself. And then also I make sure that I have a after party plan, meaning what I'm gonna do to get back to my normal eating habits and my fitness levels and my body fat. Like, what is the plan to get back? The problem for a lot of people is that, people tend to accumulate fat during holidays and they never have a start date of that holiday period. They never had end date, and then they never have the plan to get back to their normal. And so year after year, during holiday season, people put on fat and they never get rid of it. Like, the body will not say goodbye to your own fat unless you force it to do so. Because for your body, fat is an essential energy source. And your body does not know that right now you can get food anytime. Your body does not like to say goodbye to any energy. So if you have that energy stores, your body will not part with it unless you force it to do so. For a healthy body, there are some limits. So for example, usually if you have a healthy metabolism and you are eating a diet of whole foods, then you still might put on fat, if you're eating a lot of nuts and dried fruits and stuff like that. But there is a limit. You will not be getting fat for unlimited amount of time. You're not going to be getting fat on whole foods to like 300 pounds, right? Your body will stop at some point and will burn off that energy, but it doesn't necessarily mean that your body will stop at the point where you'd like to be. So that's just something for you to think about. So if you are someone who year after year put on, maybe a pound, maybe a kilo, this is not a natural trend. The only reason why your body does it is because you eat too fucking much during holiday and you never get back to normal, and you never have a plan to get back to your normal. But when you have a plan, that can be avoided, and that's why I always have a plan. Not having a plan is a plan to fail. So those are my rules for special occasions: start date, finish date, and your plan to get back to it, right? For most of my days, most of my meals, most of my food, there are rules that I found, and also based on some really great science about health and about nutrition and about how our body works best on what fuel. So I have those next rules that work for me. No sugar, no starch, no vegetable oils, no supermarket dairy products. No sugar, meaning no added sweeteners, no honey, no agave, no maple syrup, no fruit juices, nothing. If it ain't fruit, it shouldn't be sweet. That's the rule I have. No starch. And starch is everything. Starch is potatoes, starch is grains, starch is bread, starch is pasta. All of that has starch. So for me, no starch, unless it's resistant starch. And it's the only starch that is in the food, then I might, consume that. No vegetable oils, meaning no sunflower, safflower, canola, all those industrial fats, all those fats that are proven to be not beneficial for our health. I'm not eating them. So the only added fats that I'm using for simplicity is extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil for salads, and no temperature and really low temperature cooking. I might use, if I have it, walnut oil, so sesame oil, but I never buy them specifically, so I rarely use them. And grass-fed butter, also duck fat, lard, tallow from grass-fed or pastured animals. All of that I'm gonna consume, but no yellow liquid in clear bottles for me. And I'm very specific about what my food is cooked in. So whenever I go out, I ask specifically, what did you cook that in? And I ask nicely, and that's why people usually reply to me honestly. And usually it's some sort of canola or sunflower bullshit that I'm not eating. And that's why I go for grilled without any oils, or steamed, or something else, or baked, but no oil for me, unless it's, again, like butter or extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil. So no starch, no sugar, no vegetable oils, no supermarket dairy. We talked a lot about dairy products on this podcast and how I'm enjoying a real Parmigiano Reggiano, or real Parmesan, that is made from unpasteurized raw milk and that was aged. So it's completely different from the Parmesan you might find in a regular supermarket, guys. And so I do not consume any supermarket dairy and do not recommend anyone to consume that homogenized and pasteurized or ultra pasteurized products, because it's not milk. It's just changed on molecular level liquid that our body does not like at all. And it doesn't matter if they add some beneficial gut bacteria after they made all this stuff to the milk or not. It's still not the best food choice for anyone, really. The next one, for my meals, I always have a rule. I have a lot of vegetables. 3/4 of the volume of any given meal going to be vegetables by volume. And then 1/4 is animal products. Some maybe eggs, maybe fish, maybe eat, whatever that might be. So that's my guidelines for my meals. And then also I have guidelines for what I like to call snacky foods or additions. So things like chocolate or cheeses. Those are things for me. Chocolate, 100% chocolate, no sugar added, so it doesn't go against my first rule, no sugar. I have a rule, 1 or 2 servings usually per day of those foods on any given day. So that's my rule. So if it's chocolate, then it's going to be 2 ounces of chocolate. If it's cheese, then that's going to be 2 ounces of cheese, because one portion is considered to be one serving size is considered to be an ounce. So also for my meals, I make sure that I do not consume more than 2 tablespoons of added fats on any given day. So it can be in one meal, it can be in 2 meals, but something like extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil or butter, those are good oils, but they still add up. And because I want to be in a certain shape, I want to look and feel a certain way. That's why that's my rule, guys. I'm not saying everyone should do it. That's like the right way for everyone. Not at all, guys. Everyone has their own way, but this is my way that works for me. The next one, if you are someone who likes desserts, I used to have a huge sweet tooth, like no kidding, no jokes. I could easily and would easily consume a whole can of sweetened condensed milk by itself in one sitting. That's how big my sweet tooth was. But after some time, I've been keto for, 7 years. I need to count those years. It's been so long. But anyhow, I think it changed something in my body, how I metabolize sugars and starches and carbohydrates. So this year on my birthday, I tried to eat a piece of birthday cake. I said I tried to eat because I had a piece of it and I couldn't finish even the whole piece of cake that I was given, even though before I would feel like finishing the whole fucking cake. But on this birthday, it was amazing cake. It was in Singapore, one of the best places you can get desserts from. And I just couldn't finish it because I felt like my body felt like it had nothing for me. Like literally, I had no joy, no pleasure, and I did not want to eat that dessert. It tasted really good, but I just had no desire to eat that nutritionally empty food. But later on my birthday, this evening, we went out to have another dinner, and they brought me this amazingly delicious and light. It was like a piece of cloud. I don't know, chicken liver pate, and it was supposed to be shared by the table, but I ate the whole, kind of like a small jar by myself with a spoon, like it was ice cream. And it kind of looked like ice cream. It was this brown chocolate ice cream color. And everyone looked at me, a little bit weird, but it did feel like the best dessert you could possibly have. And, chicken liver is really high in iron, in vitamin A, in a lot of those fats that my body is used to use for energy. So that was my dessert. And at that point, I realized I don't really have anything for sugar anymore. Like I love bitter, savory. And so for me personally, I didn't have rules around desserts anymore because I never eat desserts, because I never want desserts. Like it's so like I just don't have that desire anymore. But before that, I would have rules. And I also, whenever my clients like desserts, they want to enjoy desserts on a more or less regular basis, I always tell them they should always have rules. They should not have sugar in desserts in their house. There should be a special occasion kind of item, with your family or by yourself once a week or once in 2 weeks or once a month. Go out to really amazing bakery or dessert cafe and have whatever you want to have. And then get back to your regular routine without, buying that stuff and then trying to limit yourself to a certain portion. Just go out, get it in a cafe. You're not going to eat the whole cake there because, it's kind of expensive when you go out to eat dessert by the cake. And you're going to have much, much fuller and more beautiful and special occasion experience than just eating some crappy cookies that really don't have much special to offer. And then also, if you're someone, you're a mom or a dad or whoever you are, or you're someone who likes to cook desserts once in a while, then cook small batches. When you look up a recipe, nobody forces you to cook a whole batch of it. You can make a small batch, divide all the ingredients by 2 or 4 or whatever. And if you make a whole batch, share it. Get out there, give some to your friends, to your co-workers, live yourself and your family. Everyone tries it, everyone enjoys it, and then give the rest away. Maybe give away to a homeless on the street that you pass by every day. Just don't keep it in the house. That's as simple as that. It's not a waste of food. Share it with other people. And that's the best rule I can give you, because a lot of us, we're not really great around those foods that we love, especially sugary, especially highly processed, especially foods that hit all of our pleasure points. So don't put yourself in a situation where you have to struggle and use your willpower. That's, one of my rules number 1, probably. People who have certain results in life, who succeed with certain things, they do not succeed because they have an iron willpower. They succeed because they do not put themselves often in the situations where they have to use their willpower in the first place. And that's the secret, not training your willpower. And the last but not least, guys, a lot of people, when they learn about those rules, they say, well, isn't it limiting? Aren't we supposed to eat whatever we want and just be okay with that? I like this saying I believe it was by Mike Matthews, really cool guy on the internet who does also podcasting and personal training and writes a lot of cool articles about health, fitness, and fat loss. And he has this saying that navigating our modern food environment by feeling, or also some people call it intuitive eating, is like trying to navigate a minefield by feeling. It can be done, but it will cost you. And plus, guys, intuitive eating, for me, it's just a waste of time. It means that every time I eat, I have to ask myself, what do I want to eat? How much of it I want to eat? Should I eat this or that? This is too many decisions. I gotta work. I have clients. I have my business to work on. I have life to enjoy. I don't have that time to choose every single meal what I gotta eat. That's why I love my rules. I have my rules. I practice them. They're a second nature to me, and I spend no time thinking about them. I have a rule for every situation. And I have them because they work. And if they stop working at some point, I'm gonna change the rules. I'm gonna create a new set of rules based on my priorities, not based on the moment and the situation. Because at the moment and those hot moments of decisions, we rarely come up with the best decision, the best thinking. You gotta make those in advance. You shouldn't be making decision right when this cake or cookie in front of you. You should be making that decision a week before that or a day before that. So when you're confronted with the choice, you know the answer already based on your best thinking. So that's my set of rules, my shortcuts to a healthy life, to healthy living, and how to navigate this confusing food and lifestyle environment. Most of the choices you're presented and advertised these days are not good for you. They do not have your best self in mind. And so please do your thinking before you have to make a choice and stick with that choice. That's it for today, guys. Today's Friday. Tomorrow we are going to Parma to try all the Parmigiano Reggiano and some ham, and I think there was also vinegars and something else. There's going to be dinner. So stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram to see all of this amazing Italian goodness and see me using my rules and looking sharp, lean, and six-pack photo shoot ready the next day. So stay tuned. And guys, take some time this weekend. Create your own personal rules that move you towards your priorities, your goals. And of course, as usual, enjoy your weekend and eat better daily.